कौन हिला कि you thought of opening a school?
From my childhood, like class 8 onwards, I thought that I should start a school. With my staff and all, they said that why don't you start school with a crèche? So that was is the first crèche or a daycare of Odisha.
Is it much more difficult than a fellow counterpart when you say a male opening a school and you opening a school?
Yes, right now also it's the same thing because for a woman to walk into that corridor, it's not a safe thing at all.
Did you face any problem while constructing the school?
With no money that time, we used to have just one classroom. Even for 15 years, we didn't have doors in the school.
When will NEP policy come?
NEP has, up till now, everybody is talking differently. But there's a long way because our universities are not ready, our colleges are not ready. Because for us, urban maybe a little bit is there. But then the rural areas are not ready.
I don't know if you have tasted, we've got you Chandrakanti.
This is a very old sweet. Actually, now hardly people eat. I think our next generation will...
No, pari. Searching someone like you, a woman who faced all this and did independently on her own, is very difficult to find.
For men, going and negotiating with a woman, they don't like. They don't trust that we can do it. Women who are working are not good.
Hello everyone, welcome to one more episode. Samastongo reaction and comments podi ki bahut bhal laguchi. The way you've been involved with the podcast and the way you've been supporting us to get more stories, it's very heartening. Actually, today's guest is very special. Maybe I come from a very small and a good school. It was Ruchika High School in Unit 6, Bhubaneswar. And we had a principal, Indrajit Khurana, who was very loving, very caring. And the best thing about our school was every kid was given an importance and every kid was taken care of. Maybe after Indrajit Khurana, if I ever saw someone coming very close to her, was our guest today, Mrs. Polly. Mrs. Polly is, or we say Polly ma'am. Polly ma'am is founder and chairman of Mother's Public School, and thousands of kids have passed from that school, and we are very lucky to have her here, and we would be lucky enough to hear her stories. So let's start. Welcome, Polly ma'am, to the show.
Thank you so much for calling me. I'm really excited because seeing you both. All of the team, which I've seen you small and you've grown big and doing something nice and interesting. Thank you so much for inviting me.
So, as the shows goes, we would really like to hear your story. Ki kaun hila, ki where did you started from? Kimiti, you thought of opening a school, and tapore that journey, maybe 90s you opened, 91 or 92 opened, and tapore aji 2025, 23 years. How was the journey? What was the struggle? More importantly, what was the struggle?
33 years.
Yeah, 33 years. What was the struggle and everything? So please, we would love to hear this.
See, actually from my childhood, like class 8 onwards, I thought that I should start a school.
Oh, class 8 to
Yeah, so ମୁଁ ସୁନାବେଡ଼ାରେ ଥିଲି, ବାପା ଥିଲେ ସେଠି HRରେ. So I have seen Sunabeda growing actually, means like from the day one, schools coming up, hospitals coming up. And he was in HR, so obviously he was the initial people who joined Sunabeda. And then HAL. So then the city was coming up in front of us. So I've seen how schools and colleges coming up and hospitals coming up, the factory, because you need people to stay for them. And it's a remote place, it's a rural area where nothing was there actually. For everything, we used to go to Vizag for everything.
Yeah. And Ajivi, it is untouchable, untouched.
Aji, it is much more connected. Trains galani, and then you can see lot of things tourism is doing and everything, and there are good hotels also coming. Now you saw a shooting coming up in
Yes, the
Koraput,
Rajamouli movie. Yeah.
so now things are different. But that time every weekend we used to go to Vizag to get things.
Oh, अच्छा.
So it was different. My parents means they used to go.
जयपुर भी तो ଭଲ ମାର୍କେଟ ଥିଲା କି ଜୟପୁର ବି ବଡ଼ ମାର୍କେଟ ନଥିଲା
ନା ସେତେବେଳକୁ କିଛି ନଥିଲା. ଜୟପୁର also was very small. କୋରାପୁଟ ଜୟପୁର also ଏକଦମ tribal
ମାନେ
area.
this is 70s.
ହଁ ସେଥିରେ ସେଠୁ କିଛି ନଥିଲା. ତ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସବୁ ତାପରେ ସବୁ ଏଚୁଆଲ କମିଂ ଅପ୍ ଦେୟାର ସବୁଆଡ଼ୁ ଲୋକ ଆସୁଥିଲେ ନା ସବୁ ଅଲ୍ ଓଭର ଦ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରି. ସବୁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସେଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ଅଲଗା କସ୍ମୋପଲିସ୍ ଯୋଉ ସିଟିଟା where from all states people were there. So it was a lovely experience growing up there. तो ସେତେବେଳକୁ ସେଇ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ଥିଲା କି ନାଇଁ ସ୍କୁଲ କରେ ବିକଜ ଆଇ ନେଭର ଲାଇକ୍ ଗୋଇଂ ଟୁ ସ୍କୁଲ अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग. जो मॉर्निंग स्कूल बिकॉज यूजुअली स्मॉल किड्स यूजुअली गो इन द मॉर्निंग एंड देन द सेकंड शिफ्ट स्टार्ट्स व्हेन द सीनियर्स कम टू स्कूल फॉर द होल डे. So that I never
Now
liked.
school starts at 6 a.m. Bus kids need to reach the bus stop by 5:15,
Yeah,
5:20.
so I never liked that one. So that was my one more thing that you should have a comfortable time because and when we are home we had nothing else to do. So that was there. So school was there. So for that accordingly I did my studies, I did education and did my masters also. So I did my B.Ed and then so all that I did. Then clinical psychology, I went to Oklahoma University and did something. So that I was getting ready for that school because one of my mentor, like Rana sir, he was my English teacher, and so he told me that you go like this so that you want because I used to write that I want to start a school. So my teacher used to guide me, you take education, which I didn't know what education was. So but then he used to guide me that okay, education here and then you do a subjects nale tamko help karibo, you have to have a B.Ed degree and all that. Then of course after my masters I joined again the same school where I studied, like in Sunabeda only. I started my career also there because my father said that you have to come back home. So I was there at this one. So I was working.
Start करले मैंने working.
Working LKG UKG teacher as a primary teacher only because when I was studying like you talked about Mrs. Khurana, she was again my inspiration. So it graduation I did in BJB college. So that time I wanted to explore school and also I went to Mrs. Khurana and she warmly accepted me and then so I used to spend my mornings, that morning shift no they have. So early in the morning I used to go there, spend some time there and then go to BJB college for my classes. So she was there and then when I started the school, when I got married and then I wanted to run a school. So first it was that was my condition with my husband also.
So
that
you were in Ruchika in which?
That's when it was in Forest Park when I was doing my graduation. When I was doing my graduation. So it is between the 80s.
80s, huh? I joined Ruchika in 87 as nursery. 89.
So that was the 80s. So that time I used to spend time. So during my graduation, so I was preparing my portfolio kind of thing, what nowadays you term to be. So that I was going there and then going to my college. Then I finished my masters in education. And then I went back again to Sunabada to start my
education
job. So I started working there.
And then you got married?
Came to Bhubaneswar again. I was back to Bhubaneswar. But then I was working because at home also they told you have to have a kid and then start your own thing. So then I joined Kamala Nehru as a lecturer. So I did that for 20 years.
20 years?
I did. I was working there for 20 years and with that little support this one. So then actually everybody I realized that here there's no daycare. When my son he also went to Ruchika first nursery and all that. But then there was no daycare here or a creche here or anything. So with my staff and all, they said that why don't you start school with a creche? So that was mother's is the first creche or a daycare of Odisha.
Oh, okay.
So that way I started, but
and
it
so
was in
what timings thala?
10 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Oh, acha. For even nursery kids. And
Yeah. Now also we have that same thing.
So it was a different name.
Prakrit. So now also we have a pre-primary named as Prakrit only. Now also it's pre-primary.
That started in 92.
92.
Same building?
Not same building. Near my house in Takpani Road, we had Dhiren Patnaik, who is another one of my brother-in-law. So he had a patch of land. He told that you can use that. So with no money that time, so I started with cottages. So thatched house, no doors, nothing. It was just small cottages. And then we started a daycare there. So from nursery to pre-nursery, nursery, LKG 1, 2 and 3 it happened. And then actually unit 1 I shifted when Amar Singh, that was this unit 1 property was actually was leased out to Amar Singh, who was an IS officer that time. So he was trying to work on it. So they were having a school there, but it was not able to flourish or do things and all that. So he was leaving Bhubaneswar. So then he saw that I can do something. So he then gave me this place, so which is Mother's Public School now. From class 4 onwards, I'm here.
You shifted here, Unit 1 now, in?
That one again in 4-5 years, 95, I think, 95, 96 I came. And then it started here with small. Every year we used to have just one classroom. So because I didn't take loan or anything like that. So every year we used to have a classroom built with all my admission and readmission, and then one more class used to add. So started with less money, and I didn't have that glamour and all that, but we were very caring that the food and everything was, we don't have a fridge right now also. Now all these years, every day our children eat, but we don't have a fridge or anything, so that it's always fresh things, vegetables or grocery, which comes daily from, as it is unit 1, so obviously we had no issue. So every day we procure things and we have our food. So food was really good. Now also it's really good. So food is there and children stayed for the whole day, and they spend, even mothers were working in different places. And they used to come and peep when the children used to sleep and what they're eating. But whole day from
10 to 4?
10 to 4 they used to be there. So that way gradually it grew. But then when plus 2 came, I left my job because plus 2 was a demanding thing, because youngsters, when they come, you need to take care of them. So again, in plus 2, after 20 years, I left my job.
So this is 2090s. When did you leave your job?
No, I think 20 years means, I think 20s I left when Rahul was, I think, in first year.
Oh, okay.
He's my guinea pig, so.
Oh, okay. So this is 2000, I tell you. Rahul in first year is 2003.
So that time we started, and then everybody wanted, like some of my friends' kids and all, they wanted that we should have coaching, because that time a lot of children were going to Kota from Odisha. So I told, why don't you start something so that children need not go to Kota and stay here. So for that we started Pi Education, which that time we started. And we started in the evening classes. So from different schools also they were coming, and our children also were.
For the science?
For the science. We had only science that time. Okay. So we started with science only. And then commerce and humanities later on it happened. That time also my selection was very strict. We used to not take anybody for that Pi Education and all that also. Those integrated classes. So we had only a few children, almost 17 or 18. But from that, 4 cracked IIT in the first year. So that
clicked.
And then everything is history. Now everything is doing well.
What all challenges did you face from opening your first school in Tongpani Road to the early 2000 phase? What was the big challenge did you face? You thought ki are ita mu jani nahi, but face kariya paduchi. What was that?
Every day it was a learning. Sabu hoche jo NOC government ro jo papers ani that is a big struggle, and that time the women were hardly encouraged.
I was coming to that point. How, as a woman entrepreneur starting on her own in 90s?
I've stood in front of the Unit 9, that Notala, what it is called, or secretary. I've cried literally, because people, they really look so, means, I don't know what to say, but they don't like women to be there. And if they see a woman, they don't have a very positive kind of thing.
କିଏ କରିପାରିବ କି
କରିପାରିବ କି
କରିପାରିବନି
ନାହିଁ, and women who are working are not good.
ହଁ ସେତେବେଳେ ସେ
ସେତେବେଳେ
ଥିଲା
ସେଟା ଥିଲା,
ହଁ
they can, so ସେଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ, so and then the papers ବାହାର କରିବା, even today it's not an easy thing, but then it was more difficult because I used to do everything myself. I used to go to the office, I have to go to the
ଯାହା ବି ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟର
government
ପ୍ରୋସେସେସ୍
process
ଥିବ
achi, so for that then you have to go, because CBSE was not at all a problem for me. But to get an affiliation, that was not a problem. There we don't, so that
କ'ଣ ଫେସ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିଲା
बहुत बेसी माने they won't like a woman coming and sitting, or they used to, and to discourage, they used to call me in that time, even evening रे 6ଟା ବେଳକୁ 7ଟା ବେଳକୁ 8ଟା ବେଳକୁ ବି ଡାକିଛନ୍ତି ଅଫିସ୍ କୁ. So going in the night, it was
and then you have kid and then
not
ଆପଣ
kid, but
ଚାକିରି ବି
then
ଅଛି
ଚାକିରି ତ was always a nice thing. Means for me, I had never had an issue.
ମାନେ ସେଇ ସବୁ କରିକି ପୁଣି ରାତିରେ ଯିବା and then to
Ratri, when nobody, for a woman to walk into that corridor is not a safe thing at all. Actually, now to after 5, nobody is allowed. No women is allowed to enter. Now it's so ହେଇଗଲାଣି. ସେତେବେଳେ ସେମିତି ନଥିଲା. They used to call you at then later, and if somebody goes along with you also, they didn't like. Why you have to get a person along with you? So kind of comments were there. So all this is a big struggle for all that. And then for everything also, to get like for me, मोर जो बिल्डिंग थिला जेतु लोन नथिला, आम सेतुळकु से जो ऊपर से छत हरका पकेया को नारायणगढ़ रु जो ब्लॉक्स तांकर जो रूफिंग जो थिला, सो सेगुडा को आनी के आम पकोतु, सो दैट मासे भितरे गोटे क्लासरूम रेडी हे जिवो. सो दैट वाज मोर इंस्टेंट. सो तांकर रूफिंग हरका तो सेटा को भी से माने एक्चुअली हमको सीबीएसई लिखते थे कि दैट सेटा देखा जाउची as asbestos sheet, but this is not this one. But that government have to write that ki it is a not a asbestos sheet. So all these small letters by lots of challenge for a woman to do. It was really, means I've literally stood in the corridors and cried kind of thing. It was really tough that.
ମାନେ ଆଜି ବି when I'm doing a podcast ମୁଁ ଦେଖୁଛି କି searching someone like you, a woman who faced all this and did independently on her own, is very difficult to find. Plus ମାନେ entrepreneurship for women एते difficult हो जाए कि for them to take that leap is very difficult mentally.
Yes,
Number
it
one.
is work.
Number 2, there are family issues. Number 3, मैं बहुत try करे promote करे office रे कि if there is a position, it doesn't depends if it is male or female then. माने जदि तुम मैनेजर गोटे फीमेल अच्छी, then it's not. It can happen कि maybe a 20-year-old manager can say a 50-year-old manager can have a manager on him which is 30-year-old woman.
Now तो it is.
Yes. ये भी बहुत कॉमन था. बट ସେଇଟା को भी मैनेज करिबा आउ से मेल इगोटा भी मैनेज करिबा एते डिफिकल्ट हो जाए ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रे एंड इवन जनरली भी. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज दिस वर्क्स एज अ डेटरेंट. माने एटा को स्त्री मानन को प्रमोट करेनी कि ताको हेल्प करेनी टू टेक दैट लीप कि मु ए एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप टा नहीं परिबी.
Because I remember one gentleman came for the interview and saw me and then I will not work under a woman. So that also I faced. So people say that
माने
no.
माने स्कूल प्रिंसिपल ପାଇଁ खोजतिवे कि वाइस प्रिंसिपल ପାଇଁ.
No. I have always been the principal
like
now.
vice
also.
principal.
So vice principal, no, lower than say. But then not teacher, because usually teachers are women and most very few men and admin and all that. I can't work under a woman.
केमिति फेस करले माने.
So it is not, it's not easy, but then we got, I think I'm blessed, I get better people then. When somebody goes, I get a better person like that. So it is not like that. So I'm blessed to get a good team.
बहुत difficult हुए सिम्पली प्रूव करिया माने is it much more difficult than a fellow counterpart माने say a male opening a school and you opening a school to prove yourself?
Yes, right now also it's the same thing because I can't do a lot of things, or some people are not comfortable to talk to a woman that okay, these are the things, I need something more, I need this, I need that, I need something extra. So men won't be comfortable with me for anything. See, like for any certificate, now we have to get everywhere certificate. So for that, people are not very comfortable talking to a woman. Even for my CBSE affiliation and all, that when they see a woman also, they feel okay, क्या बात करें, कैसे बात करें, कहाँ तक बोले, because they also feel that okay, कि nahi, means can we do it or no? They don't trust that we can do it. So these are the documents we need, kind of thing. They are not very, they want to encourage me, but they don't want to demoralize, so they are not very comfortable. And I asked
So
my
if it
husband
is
to
not
go.
trust, you struggle with sympathy. कि मतलब sympathy देखो जल्दी.
ना sympathy भी देखिया को भी समान को भी करी पारंत नहीं. So then for few years I didn't get, first year I didn't get my affiliation also because of certain things. But then my husband told me Gandhi है लेकिन अच्छा हुआ नहीं. ठीक है, go do something, be aggressive and all that. I told I can't because you have to draw a line. You can't step over it also. Then he went and then he told, अरे आप क्यों पहले से नहीं आए? So these are the things. This NOC from BDA we need. This is this and this is that. So you should have told her also. So she would have done it. She would have got it. No, but then I was very young also. I started this one in when I was 22. I started my school when I was 22 and 23 years old. So obviously they feel that okay, this young bichari lady kahan se aayi hai, then what will it will be harassment or what, I don't know what they had in their mind. When he went, then everything fell in place. He went and talked to this and then he had asked me, then I only went and you should have told me. You should have told me. She told her कि no, आप इतने दूर से आए हैं, we didn't want to trouble you. I don't know. This is rather, I lost
Your
1 year.
business, you will face the trouble.
And first year I didn't get my affiliation, and my children gave under Prabhuji English medium school first year. Then of course everything is smooth.
Aji thinks better ହେଇଛି कि ଆଜି भी ଏଇ क्वेश्चन टा ସବୁବେଳେ ରୁହେ कि ନାଇଁ lady entrepreneur or lady somebody ଆଜି ଟିକେ better ହେଇଛି.
बहुत better. Now they respect you rather, because especially schools it's mostly women who are doing. But usually the administrative things are done by the men. But now also we feel that men are still an upper hand only. Our Bhubaneswar भी अलगा school अच्छी where I can't go beyond this one. But I think men counterparts are doing much better than the Chennai, of course. But still,
so it's always an extra struggle. Being a woman, there's always an extra struggle.
Now also that is there.
For me, if it is like 8 out of 10 effort, it has to be 9 out of 10 effort for you. That plus
10
1 effort.
More than that, I feel.
So, then it remains when this thing will equalize. How will this thing equalize? How will jadi gote jhiyota bhi, even my sector is worse. Maybe we have 1 or 2 women entrepreneurs in like 400 developers. It is worse. Maybe 3 I can count right now. Maybe there is Sophia in Metro, there is Ratnamala Sai ma'am in DN, and maybe I've heard of one Barsana, her daughter is doing. So 3 ladies in like 300, 400 developers. So it is much bad.
But yours isn't. But usually education is handled by women only.
Yeah.
But I thought here it shouldn't have been.
Should have been.
But your sector is separate. But for us, I think it's more a woman-dominated profession and school listen. But administration, I think, I don't know how it has become.
We always talk about, inequality with women in pay, in work, at home. But nobody talks about inequality of women in starting an entrepreneurship or maybe being an entrepreneur. से लोक मान ट्रस्ट नहीं, जदि ट्रस्ट भी नहीं तो गोटे सिंपथी रे चली जाती. बट हाउ कैन दिस इक्वलाइज? लाइक the point
only
is
attitude, only attitude only it comes from home. When I think parents, elders, men, everybody has to take a big of course educated family at least it ke helani. But rural area where now you see Women Shakti is doing so well, Samasya have become a great entrepreneur.
छोटे छोटे दुकान करचुंती छोटे
हाँ, बहुत वैसे. I think women in rural sectors are much better than the men. I don't know, because our school re almost for 1 year we were supporting this millet people mission. So all the PTMs and all that, they used to come and put up their stalls and all that. And we saw how aggressively they're doing. They're managing their home and everything and making little earnings, and then it's banking, everything they know. So it's really, I'm happy to see what the women are doing right now.
And maybe then there is Anganwadi, it happened, and then बहुत जगह रे health maybe what I don't know the correct word, but health workers maybe ସେଇଟା भी women ରହିଲେ ମାନେ government रे for the rural areas. So that all promoted a lot of entrepreneurship in
Though they were not,
rural.
see, they're not educated as much as, but then the attitude, but that has changed. So they are letting the women do what they want to, and they have actually changed. Actually, it's always said if a woman can do everything, means take care of the family. If a man is educated, it's only an individual. So same way, little bit of education or learning, like training. I think the government has trained them so well, they've empowered them so well, that I think they are doing so well. Like it's really, now you can see the shift is happening. But the men also should accept and respect them. I don't know, at rural area they are not. They're still being beaten up, and exploitation is going on, extortion is going on, everything is happening. So if that can be changed, I think with education only it can
See,
change.
even urban areas maybe हाँ मैंने से percentage रहते high नहीं, but that मैंने से equalizer है भी नहीं. So for me to go and maybe look upon a developer who is a woman, I can do, but not many people can do. They can't look upon a woman who's a developer bigger than me, or maybe I learn from her, or maybe I put all my say marketing decision on a woman or a sales decision on a woman, and maybe it can be anyone. So to see a woman without having that divider, saying कि एटा यही कामटा किए भी करता वो. So that needs to come up in say business world. Now we are talking business, we're talking about entrepreneurship. So see Tabi, it's a big struggle.
Yeah, for men going and negotiating with a woman, they don't like. So usually discussing, see, any business, they have to negotiate, they have to talk, discuss. That I think men are still, that there's a small line there. They don't like to talk to a woman. But I think gradually it will come up, because women are doing well, and there are so many women who are doing well. So I think the men are encouraging the women also. So I think it will come soon.
Maybe you should also have a 5-day course or 7-day course for all the boys in the school. Ki, girls are equal.
No, that of course, I think these boys and the schools, and at least in urban area, I think they know, but still actually have a culture, I think, is so deep into it. At home they have seen their grandparents, they are seeing their, so that is still there. No? So that influence is still there. So that will take a few more decades, I think, once that, like our generation, what we are doing, I think we
very
are.
bad. For somebody to come up as an independent entrepreneur in your generation, it took me like 2 months to find someone. I knew you, but beyond you, it's very difficult to find someone who did it independently.
But still, like in our generation, I think we are the last generation who used to listen to the father and mother, we used to listen to the brother, then we listen to the husband, and we are listening to our children also. So it is our generation. But I think after our generation, that has changed, and that will change.
But still, I think, the gap is very huge. I tell you why. We do this business podcast or entrepreneurship podcast talking about entrepreneurship. So I was getting into the analytics part, and what I see is only 7% of women watch my podcast and 93% are men. So person, if he's looking at my podcast, he's interested in entrepreneurship or he's interested in business. So the gap is so high, 93% to 7%. So that is where, that is where the real gap is. And this has to go up because I'm a society de 50-50 hi achu. There are 50 women to 50 men.
I think women are so busy because they are multitasking actually. They have to take care of their house, children, in-laws or parents, so everything.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe explaining men, maybe I'm going beyond, that being a house husband is okay. Or, being, if your wife is making more money than you, it's okay. It's okay. The relationship remains the
Now
same.
things are changing because day before yesterday one couple had come for an admission where the husband has left all his job because the wife is working for the government. So the husband for the education has left his job.
And taking care of the child.
Taking care of the children. So I was really happy. I was feeling so lucky you are for a woman. And then he was saying, no, for that I chose your school so that I'll come over and see that my children do well. Things are changing, but like you're telling, the percentage is very less.
Very less. So if somebody, and then, to hear that a girl saying कि मैं पापा का business handle करूँगी या मैं business करना चाहूँगी, वो business टा करी भी, it is very rare because they've not been, it's not in their mind कि वो business टा करी पारी भी. Even in a business, if I see my daughter can handle better than my son, I will never give it to a daughter because we keep it in mind कि daughter business करी पारी बनी.
No, those days are gone. So, and there are sectors where women do better than the men. And some areas are there, it's all that the men can be doing. So, if it is a balance, so for me also, like now, I feel that work, so where I can send my son to an office where he can handle things, because I have learnt that for a woman, if you go, it is not. So he can do that. So if you share everything, then okay, these are the areas, these are the strengths of my daughter, and this is the strength of my son, or this is the strength of my daughter-in-law, this is the strength of my son. So if you balance it, I think your business will rock.
Yeah. So Minati, Rahul, they both are rock of this business. Yeah. And it is so, it is so good to see a son handling mother's business than a father's business. So, I've rarely seen that. A son has helped her mother to grow the business.
Yeah. Because, and so he loves what his father does, but he feels that here he can do because he's more like me, can talk to people and convince people and all. So he's doing that. So that is the thing. Both, and we have understood now in these 10 years that Minati's strength is what and Rahul's strength is. So we have balanced. So both of them have decided, okay, you take this one and I do that. So that balance, if you can help, then I think things will work very smoothly.
This is a burning issue. Like, I love the INWEC initiative, if you know about. They are helping so many women entrepreneurs, and then government is backing them so much. So INWEC as an organization has done so much around entrepreneurship and women in Bhubaneswar. Aji maybe they are 30th mere tankoro third or fourth exhibition.
This time I think it's a big way. This time it's become larger, it's going better.
They do it better than any organization's fair again.
Because actually women when they take up something, they do it with sincerity and they are very particular about the perfections and all that also. So that is what it is. See, that is what it is, like movement Shakti, which came from rural, and the urban area is INWEC, which is doing. Is again promoting little.
So it's heartening to see all the stories coming out of that exhibition and everything. So beside that, now being a woman, we discussed ki ete problems hela. How problems hela? Did you face any problem while constructing the school or while running the school? Issues
Construction, nothing, not much. because I did small bits. Thing. Baby, chua mane are handling it, so now nothing. Initially also I was just doing, and our team, our staff, our this one, they were only handling things. So seita pe kebe problem ho matla. Means even for 15 years we didn't have doors in the school because I didn't want to take loan. Only when plus 2 came, I took a loan.
Oh, acha.
To ମାନେ skeleton ହେଇଯାଇଥିଲା but the skeleton କୁ ତାକୁ ଟିକେ revamp କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଇଏ କରିବା ପାଇଁ so ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ then when plus 2 did well, first year I struggled, then second year onwards I took a loan so that I had that courage because a loan नवा ପାଇଁ भी तो you need to have courage and borrow money from family. That was not my this one, and actually that time even in the family also we were all growing that time, so everybody didn't have spare money. Now like okay they can share or something, but everybody, uncle also was struggling, means everybody was struggling, everybody were doing, so it's not easy to start and borrow money and this one because everybody was growing.
So this is one more part of entrepreneurship is बहुत लोगों बुझाते नहीं कि you can start small, add small, and one day it will come big. So 92 रे जो आपनकर गोटे छोटो स्कूल टा with asbestos घर has now become an maybe माने a 6 school or 7
5 schools.
5 school all over Odisha, and then these many kids. So it took you 33 years for this journey, right? And सेटा दिने रे हेलानी, सेटा 3 वर्ष रे हेलानी, 2 वर्ष रे हेलानी.
ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ କି ଏତେ ବ୍ୟସ୍ତ ହେଇଯାଉନି, କାମଟା ଉପରେ ଫୋକସ୍ କର, କାମର କ୍ୱାଲିଟିରେ କମ୍ପ୍ରମାଇଜ୍ କେବେ ବି କରନି, କାରଣ ଯଦି ଲୋନ୍ ବୋନ୍ ହେବ ନା ତୁମେ କମ୍ପ୍ରମାଇଜ୍ କରିବ, ଯେଉଁ ହେଲେ ପିଲା ନେଇଯାଅ, କେମିତି ହେଲେ ବି ପିଲା ନେଇଯାଅ, ତ ହେଲା ବେଳକୁ ତାପରେ ସ୍ପେଶାଲ ଛୁଆ ଯଦି we are not equipped, like for us in our school we can't handle special children, so କିନ୍ତୁ ମୋର numbers ବଢ଼ାଇବା ପାଇଁ I can take them, but then ତାଙ୍କୁ help କରିବା you need professional people to handle, so it is not that you can just take them because there's a loan we have to repay some every month, so that becomes a pressure. जो भी business हो, startup हो कि जो भी जो से जने कर ले भी, so you should know your boundaries कि मैं इतनी पैसा रे इतनी कर पारिबी, सेती पैसा को नहीं कि धीरे धीरे ही जेबाटा more you will be happy also. That
time will give you the gift.
Yes, that is what
you have
it
to
is.
माने perseverance टा रहया कथा. आजकल बहुत माने शीघ्र कर दबो, 5 वर्ष रे एंती कर दबो, बड़ कर दबो.
मैं देखछि केते बडा जिंस 2 कोटी 3 कोटी खर्च होन तापरे एते लोन रहछन देन बिका होछि ये करा होछि, so that's very sad.
So it was built brick by brick, I can say.
Yeah, brick by brick. Yeah. Actually, interpersonal relationship, I always believe that is very important. Actually, that time people who join the school or it was just personal relation. We became a family and everybody worked towards that. Am school emti kebe nathla ki I am a boss and I am something or something like that. So that is there. So we work as a team even today also.
So it is Pahado, Puri,
एठी भुवनेश्वर रे तीनटा
खंडगिरी पहाड़ो and
unit 1 and then one is Cuttack and one is Puri.
Maybe before finishing this first chapter of your struggle and how you came up with the school, anything else you wanted to share?
It's a nice experience whatever I have, because I've learned, even today I'm learning, because generations have changed. Because when I started, parents were surrendering their children kind of thing. So they said, okay, apan jaha karibe. And then they trusted us. But nowadays, these parents they ask questions. Now they want protein in their this one, and that has to be seeds in your khana. All these things also.
What are they studying? Why are they studying?
Studies nobody asks. Only food people ask. Nowadays, parents, so they feel that okay, it should be like balanced food kind of thing. I keep telling that we are here for education, and we have grown with dal chawal and everything, and we are all strong enough. Why do you think that paneer has to be added? Not the vegetables or anything. No, protein has to be added. Seeds. The other day somebody came and told me, why don't you add little seeds also? I told all that you give it at home. Those parents were at least they were thinking only khaichina nahi chhuatas. They were more worried that at least dal chawal khaya to bahut. ମାନେ ଆଉ ଭେଜିଟେବଲ୍ସ ଖାଉ କି ନ ଖାଉ ମୋ ଛୁଆ ଖାଇଛି ତ ମୁଁ ଇଏ କରିଛି ତ ସୋ ସେଇଟା ଆସିକି ବହୁତ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି।
We as a millennial are like over pampering our kids. ସବୁ particular
ପାଠ କ'ଣ ପଢ଼ୁଛନ୍ତି ଇଏ କରୁଛନ୍ତି they feel that କି ନା ସେଟା ସବୁ ତ ଘରେ ହେଇଯିବ, ଗୁଗୁଲରେ ହେଇଯିବ କି ଫୋନରେ ହେଇଯିବ କି କ'ଣ ହେଇଯିବ, so there are all those resources.
Do you think it's a worrying trend because like for us हमें जो 90s रे grow करलु छुआ माने like me, Rahul and our friends, we never had like toys आजी दरकार मिली जीवो. We always had a no to us कि toys टा मिली बनी आजी ये मिली बनी से मिली बनी, but आजी generation they are like हाँ कौन दरकार इधर नहीं जाओ.
That is all of you only are doing. No, you are only spoiling. All of you are only spoiling. So that is there. Yeah. So you have to tell no. They should listen.
So how difficult it will become for a kid when they face challenges?
Now see the children we are facing, they are very aggressive now because to phone niya hai jauchi chhode dela belalku that aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Now you don't realize, but I am sure by class 4 and 5 they will be their parents are going to have a tough time. They are going to bully the parents because you have done that. So they are so used to. For us, what? In your generation also, you were scared of your parents, you were scared of your grandparents. But nowadays children, you don't let them do that.
Yeah, they're over pampered, over loved.
So that is what it is. You give them whatever they want. Whenever you go to a store, they should go there, select. You should give a budget that okay, this is the budget. You should choose accordingly.
Or maybe if they pass that Hamley store in Esplanade, they should be able to handle that no.
Yes.
कि नहीं आज ही ना बनी. माने last Sunday नहीं थिलो कि 1 month रे थोड़े नहीं थिलो आज ही ना
That discipline family रे करे खबर. So that is what discipline has to come from home. ଏଟା କିଛି ହେବନି. ଇଭନ୍ ଖାଇବା ବି ଆଉ ଆଗରୁ କ'ଣ ଆମେ ଯାହା ଦଉଥିଲୁ ତମାନେ ସବୁ ଖାଉଥିଲ.
So I have twins. One kid ସେ ଯାହା ଦେଲେ ଖାଇବ, ଠିକ ଅଛି, ଯାହା ଘରେ ହେଇଥିବ ଖାଇବ. The other kid will need nothing. ମାନେ you put on his plate this, he will not eat. Put on his plate that, he will not eat. During our time, a kid doesn't eat, don't eat. You will eat when you are hungry. Yeah. But the thing is they should be able to handle that no. This is a big problem now. The kids are not being trained to handle a no.
For that we are doing, after COVID, we have started parenting a lot. Yeah. We have parenting sessions a lot. We are calling people from outside, in-house, outside, and we are doing lot of parenting because it will be very difficult. Afterwards, you will only face this brand. Yes. And then the children also that aggressive that when they are asked no, they don't go, and they don't socialize also much.
Yes.
That is again a big thing. They don't wish everybody. Yes. They don't like people around. They like to be isolated. So what are you doing? So you are taking our children. So for that we are telling them, our children, that no, they must. This time also we ended the session telling that the children must go and play with the water. Don't say no to do that.
That is one more problem. I remember taking my kids for about 9 months or 10 months. And आमे पूरी जाइथिलु गोटे वेडिंग रे एंड मु जाइकी तांको माने समुद्र रे छाड़ देली माने टेकिंग देयर हैंड एंड दे शुड एंजॉय द सी एंड देयर वाज दिस वन ऑफ माय कजन जा छुआ इज लाइक 3-year-old and never seen the sea because किछि हेइ जिवो so people are so scared about that kids, they are not letting them grow on their own.
We have found children when they come 4+ also, they don't know how to jump.
Yeah.
1 or 2 they don't know. Jump means they will be so much that के पड़ी जिवो ए जिवो से जिवो इस जंप भी करना तो माने गोटे दिटा एमती थांती, not all, but एमती अच्छा स्पेशल. Then we ended the session like that. We told them, no, the children must go and fill the bottles and they must have feeders so that they'll mess.
हमें खाई की प्लेट सब बड़े सिंक रे रखुतलो. That training is
पानी
not there.
mess करिवे.
Mess करिया जानी नांती. माट्री खेड़िया जानी नांती.
You have to let them do. Yeah. Then only they'll be away from TV and all that. So let them mess.
I want my kid to say fall from the bed so he understand that he should not fall from the bed again. I remember summer vacations we used to fight our family and play at like say 11 a.m. and 12 noon in summer vacation. ଆଜିକାଲି ଛୁଆ 9ଟା ପରେ ବାହାରିବେନି ଘରୁ 8ଟା ପରେ ବାହାରିବେନି ଘରୁ ଗରମ ଯାଏଲାଣି ଫ୍ୟୁଚରରେ ଇଟ୍ ବି ଆ ପାଣ୍ଡେମିକ୍
ବିକଜ ଏବେ ଆଜି ମୁଁ ଶୁଣିଲି କି ଗୋଟେ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ଯୋଉଠି ଏସି ସ୍କୁଲ ଅଛି ବଟ୍ ନାଉ ସେଣ୍ଟର ପଡ଼ିଛି ଗୋଟେ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ଯୋଉଠି ଏସି ନାହିଁ ସୋ ୟୁଜ୍ ଟୁ ଏସି ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ କି ସେ 10th ବୋର୍ଡ ପରୀକ୍ଷା ଦେଲା ବେଳକୁ ସେ ଫେଣ୍ଟ କରିଗଲା ତାର ରୁମ୍ରେ ବିକଜ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ରୁମ୍ ଡିଡଣ୍ଟ ହ୍ୟାଭ୍ ଏସି
we are waiting for a pandemic to happen.
No, pandemic ହେଲେ ତ ଆହୁରି ଘର ଭିତରେ
No. These kids will become a pandemic to handle them in future in young.
So that is what it is. No, that's now the child fainted. So imagine. So it is really sad now.
So coming back to food, where we have this session everywhere, we get a local speciality. And today, I don't know if you have tasted, we've got you Chandrakanti.
Okay.
Chandrakanti is a moong dal preparation. We get it from Shri Gopal Sweets. Bandurga Lake agere se gote achi. The very famous shop makes very good Chandrakanti. I'll just get it. So, ma'am, this is Chandrakanti. Have you ever tried it before?
Yeah, I've tried. Actually, this is a very old sweet. Actually, now hardly people eat. I think our next generation will not eat.
I don't think maybe beside that shop agoti hochi.
ଘରେ ହଉଛି ମାନେ actually
ବାହାରେ?
ନା ବାହାରେ ତ I don't think so. Really nice.
And I also found it out by accident. ମାନେ ଆମେ ବନ୍ଦରକା ଲେକ୍ ପାଖରେ ଥିଲୁ, went to this shop and I saw this the new thing square. ସେ ମାନେ ଏଇଟା କ'ଣ ନା ଚନ୍ଦ୍ରକାନ୍ତି ନା କେମିତି ହୁଏ ନା ମୁଗ ଡାଲିରୁ ଲାଇକ୍ ମୁଗ ଡାଲିରୁ
ଏଇଟା ସବୁ ଆମେ ସବୁ କ'ଣ ନା ହଷ୍ଟେଲ ହଉ ୟା ମାନେ କଲେଜରେ ଚାକିରି କଲା ବେଳକୁ ସବୁ ଯିଏ ଯାହା ଘରେ ଟିକେ ଟିକେ ଗୁଡିଜ୍ କରିକି ଘରକୁ ଆଣନ୍ତି କି କମନ ରୁମ୍ରେ ଦିଜ୍ ଆର୍ ଥିଙ୍ଗସ୍ ୱିଚ୍ ଆର୍ ଷ୍ଟିଲ୍ ଦେୟାର କିନ୍ତୁ ମତେ ଲାଗୁନି କିନ୍ତୁ ହଁ ପିଠା ଆଉ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଜେନେରେସନ
ଖୋଜି ପାରିବେନି ପାଇପାରିବେନି
ପାଇବା କଥା ମାନେ କିଏ ତ ଖାଉନାହାନ୍ତି ନା
you know one thing about food is it is no more about maa ka khana, it is about dadi maa ka khana already.
Because nowadays hardly whatever mothers are just ordering food.
Yeah. So even if they're cooking, the grandma's food is much better.
But food is another thing which actually binds the family. Nowadays going out and eating has become...
Where do you eat a lot, Bahar? What street food do you eat?
I eat gupchups anywhere on the street. So...
both Gandhi. Which is your Bora Gugni stop? Which is your Ardham Daivara stop?
No, Ardham Daivara Cuttack.
Not in Bhubaneswar. Then Bora Gugni?
Bora Gugni hochi Unit 1.
Acha, Unit 1.
Unit 1 रे जो मार्केट बिल्डिंग हरकत ଭିତରେ ଯୋଉଟା ତ ସେଇଟା ଅଛି ଆଗରୁ ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ଆମେ ରୋଲ ଖାଉଥିଲୁ ଏଇଠି ତମର ଏଇଠି କ୍ୟାସିନୋ
that guy has shifted to
inside but that taste is not there. The taste is not there.
Venus in opposite to ଯୋଉଟା
so ସେଟା ସେ जो ମଟନ ରୋଲ ହରକା ସେଟା ସବୁ ରହିଲା କିନ୍ତୁ ବଟ୍ ଷ୍ଟିଲ୍ କିନ୍ତୁ ତମେ ଫ୍ରେଣ୍ଡସ୍ କଲୋନି କଟକରେ ଏବେ ଯାଏଁ ସେଠି ମଟନ ଚପ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଏଭରିଥିଙ୍ଗ ଇଜ୍ ଷ୍ଟିଲ୍ ଦ ସେମ୍ ସୋ ଖାଇବା ଇଜ୍ ଲାଇକ୍
ଏବେ ମାନେ ଆଇ ୱାଜ୍ ରିଡ଼ିଂ ସମୱେୟାର କଟକରେ 20 ଟଙ୍କା କି 25ଟା ଦୋକାନକୁ they've got this tag of very old restaurant and some are like 120 year 140 year 150 year old.
Yes. Because from our childhood we were going to that mutton chop and kind of thing and still it is really doing well.
And chaat koti khanti.
Chaat not much. College ଗୋଟେ ଥିଲା ମାନେ କଲେଜ ମାନେ ମୁଁ ବିଜେପି କଲେଜରେ ପଢିଲା ବେଳକୁ ଯୋଉଠି ଚାଟ୍ ଖାଉଥିଲି ସେ ଲୋକ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଚାକିରି କଲି କମଲାନରୁ we asked him to come there. So he was there and now he's catering to my husbands and all that. So that is there. So ଆଉ ବାହାର ଯାଇକି ଆଉ ଚାଟ୍ ହରିକା ଖାଇବାକୁ ମାନେ ଟାଇମ୍ ହିଁ ନାହିଁ କିନ୍ତୁ ବଟ୍ ଦେନ୍ ଦହିବରା ଆଳୁଦମ୍ ଯଦି ଖାଇବାକୁ ଇଚ୍ଛା ହେଲା we just drive to Cuttack. That's ଗୋଟେ ଡ୍ରାଇଭ୍ ବି ହେଲା ଖାଇକି ଆସିଲୁ so that is different. Gupchup to anywhere.
Yeah.
But food I love anything like any kind of. We like to try different places also. ସେଟା ଅଛି ଘରେ ବି ଆମ ଘରେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଟିକେ ଖାଇବା ପାଇଁ ଟିକେ interesting. Even my grandson is very fond of fruit. And see we decide कर दो chicken I'll have chicken curry and rice or I'll have an egg chop or something. But nice, this is nice thing your तमर food street food खाइबाटा इटा add कर दो इटा ना
So, one good speciality of Bhubaneswar which not many people know, हमें सब बड़े नहीं कि देखा हो ये podcast.
good. At least you're promoting something local.
Yeah. And this is personally my favorite sweet. I go a lot of times to this place and eat.
Good. It is a bhoga diya jai Thakurangku actually.
Oh, acha, I didn't know about that.
Like Krishna and Jagannath and all the, you have this one, no, 100 and kind of books. So this is one of the books also.
Very underrated sweet. Very underrated.
Moong dal, na?
Moong dal, yeah. With our discussion and everything, I have few questions in mind. Are the challenges when you run a school. So we heard what all you faced and what was the struggle, and it was more कि women entrepreneurs can't face karanti. So one question I had in mind is कि shall we not teach kids, which doesn't happen in school. School education, sorry to say, but it is so similar to what we used to study in the 40s and the 50s. The process hasn't changed. Right now, need of the kids has changed, the social strata has changed, and everything has changed. So, shall we not teach kids that to take up more entrepreneurship? Shall we not make them future ready at a very early age? Because ame कौन करूचु, ame English पढ़ौचु because से job करीबे, ame maths पढ़ौचु because से accountant हेबे, but we do not teach them in school that what would be struggle like when you become a entrepreneur. You understand?
Yes. Yeah. No, but
so
still.
How do we do it?
Language ta to nihati
darkar. No, I don't see
language
this
you cannot do anything. So
three languages I feel is always required: English, Odia, and Hindi. Right? There are schools who says Odia chhad diyantu, French niyantu, but I am like totally against it. English, Hindi, and Odia has to be there.
A state language at least, otherwise your mother tongue will have no existence at all. And that too, and there is very good literature and a very good things which actually one needs to read.
No, what I say is not as in education which is there. I think to add to it, should not we teach them ki, the future more than job is entrepreneurship? How do we get them into their mind?
That nowadays projects have started in every school now, like what you were telling, that NEP and all that. They're all promoting that key activity-based learning. Your concepts have to be clear. So, and then you are given certain projects and you execute. So with that, then they try to find out how to market that product, and if the English is taken care, then the geography is taken care, maths is that key, the shapes and everything, whatever it is there. So it's an interdisciplinary project, so where you can get everything together. Yeah. So that is there now, things are changing. Now it's no more rote learning, it's more critical thinking and analytical skills have really taken over. Now that knowledge-based questions are also hardly there in the question paper for any boards also, in the classroom also. You have to write on your own. Earlier we had one answer which was there for all the notebooks. But now every person can write, every child writes his own thought process, what is going on. So that way things have changed. And I think, because I think in between our children were not ready for the companies who wanted to hire people. So that has changed actually. Now they are customizing now World Skill Center, which is now customizing children according to the companies they need. So that way, if you think that these things have changed now, that they have to have their own minds, they can take independent decisions and they can do some projects. So I think it's coming up in a way. Entrepreneurship, actually people also, but a lot of things are there, all seeing that quick money. That is also not right.
No. It is quick struggle.
Yeah. So that,
It's quick and long struggle.
but that actually is not addressed properly.
से जो जाने जानी भी नहीं कि it is a quick and a strong struggle, long struggle से जो जाने आमे तांको prepare करिबुनु से they will not survive a day in this field.
If they prepare करले भी, people feel that कि we can do because lot of stories something तमरो social media रे आसचु that कि okay this person was here and the person in this many years, 12 years boy has become a billionaire. So it is once in lakhs. So
but normal stories सेमती
नहीं. किंतु people think that this can happen. आज एमती हेची एते हेची तार सोशल मीडिया रे 52 years रे कि 55 years रे से गोटे कोन आरंभ कला and successful in 3 years. So maybe very few of them. But say story गुड़ा back करे कि समस्ते
mindset रही. So maybe we should teach them कि एमती हुए नहीं. Plus coming to a question again जो हमें discuss भी कर लो कि how to tell the girls in the school कि तमें केमिति entrepreneurship टा नहीं परिबो and you have to be ready or maybe your struggle will always be that plus 10% and plus 15%.
That actually now children are being talked to and they are like our old students also, some of them are coming and telling their stories. So exposing them, and then there's a kind of thing which is very important. But parents, especially parents at home also, they should speak the same language. But we are telling something and the parents speak other different language. Very funny. So that also chakri karanti. So that is also there. But then finally nowadays Shamane, they want to do what they want to do.
Two more questions. One is our time re, the studies, the sports were very military style, right? कि एटा पढ़िबा एटा नहेले माड हबो एटा करिया पड़िबो नि त माड हबो. But now you can't adopt that style in maybe say in the urban setup कि आपण से style टा adopt करि परिबेनी. But is it easier for you or is it difficult for you to not give punishments and still kids behaving well and all?
No, punishment has gone long time back actually. But nowadays children, if they are convinced, they do what you, and first is they have to love you. If they love you, they do everything for you. So so they have to trust on you and they have to love you. And once they love you and you have to be a role model for that. You can't say that you can't preach nowadays. Nobody can, no teacher, no parent, nobody can preach nowadays. You have to be a role model.
So no more convent style teaching.
That is not there. But then children, they love what they are doing and they are happy what they can do. So that I think discipline has to come at घरे जदि सेटे समस्ते सकाळु उठिकी exercise करचंदी समस्ते is eating talking about right food right kind of thing. I think say discipline ता घरे रहले बाहर आसला को सब जिंस.
You want to say a class 10 student right now is much more mature than a class 10 student in say early 2000. माने आज 20 years.
Not like that. Earlier the circumstances were different. The demands were different. Now see earlier at least से माने जहाँ भी किसी पाई जाऊँ ले तो छुआ माने कोटे चाकरी की कोटे entrepreneurship जदि कोटे कौन कोटे करिया को चाहिए it's not easy. That time actually it was much easier. Like more time I think I feel that now I feel that people are struggling more to start something or do, because the demands, the expectation of parents have also changed. Parents ho ya your clients ho ya whatever it is.
Very difficult to start a business. Very difficult to even get a job.
Yeah, for that you have to be
much more
smarter. Your attitude especially. If you are not scoring well, if you are scoring well also, if your attitude is not there, you can't survive anywhere. Nor business, nor in your job or anything. So that of course, that time the children, parents all regret that, oh, I didn't teach my children how to behave, how to respect others, how to conduct themselves. So now people are not like that. But then once they start struggling, then everything falls in place. But some children are frustrated. Some children can't take it because they've never seen failures in their life. So for that, when they fall, the support system, the family should be there. It's okay, move on, and we are there for you. So don't judge them by how much they earn or how much they do. So maybe they're in losses or something, they're not earning more. So support them and encourage them for the good work they're doing. And then I think soon they'll be successful.
Coming to the NEP policy, now that is the buzzword among the education sector. Ki NEP policy aschi and the old style of teaching will change and the new future ready kids will come. Within that, the first question is ki when will NEP policy come and will it really be similar to the American standard where class 8 re kid can choose ki moro ye majors and mo ye life re karibi? Will it be more focused ki kids ko push kariba ki se R&D karantu and all karantu? So how is NEP coming?
See, now there's so many things around. NEP has, up till now, everybody is talking differently. So that is there. But still we feel that this exposure of taking up anything, if somebody wants to do anything, what they want, the sports or anything, or acting or anything. So, or interdiscipline that they have, that they can take sciences, they can choose one subject,
Major and a minor.
minor. Like they can choose history, they like history. Some children like geography with physics.
तो से कहो क्लास 8, 9, 10 गोटे ही सब्जेक्ट पढ़ी हुई?
No, what subject no, what subject no. Few subject, but that combination won't be that major and kind of thing. Like how we are doing now, like the higher language and there's a lower language. So you do ODIs and you learn little extra, little higher, and Hindi will be just a moderate thing. So you're exposed to everything till class 8. And then 9 onwards, like now also we have basic and we have started like that. Like this maths is higher and lower maths now. It has started in 9th also, 9th and 10th, where children can take basic maths and they can work hard and they can do well. So it has started little small things. But there's a long way because our universities are not ready, our colleges are not ready with the choices of subjects. Now like in CBSE we are all open. Children nowadays with sciences also they're taking painting, they're taking economics, they're taking all these subjects.
But how much time for it to be fully fledged
once
system?
It starts, because for us urban maybe a little bit is there, but then the rural areas are not ready. Now like in BJP college the other day, the principal I met and I was talking to her. And she was telling that with NEP, here we are trying to do things. We are trying to expose them with different kinds of subjects or different kinds of stories or different kinds of entrepreneurship skills. But then we are asked to do. But what about to the rural areas? Rural areas, they don't have that scope. Okay, we don't have a lab here.
And the whole point of NEP is that everybody will get the same education.
So here if she told that, okay, I don't have a lab here in my college, but for a biotechnology lab or something, if I don't have, I can go to somebody in Niger is there or somewhere is there, so that I can expose my children there and do a few hours of. And so now also for us also like skill is there for us. 12 hours of skill we have to do. So we are taking our children. We are calling the people from
12 hours a month or 12 hours
12 hours a year.
Yeah.
So it is there for us. It is now. It has started.
Which standard?
From 6 onwards. So it has started. So at least to start with,
They
at
should
least
know
12 hours.
electrician kemti huandi, plumbing kemti hue. Yeah.
So all that. So we are calling special people, and they're doing during the summers. We are trying to give them those kind of exposure, that they should know how to fix a cycle tire tube, which earlier we used to all know. But all the schools in rural area, how can they do that? So these are things which is difficult for NEP to come up successfully, because the whole setup, rural and urban
को same kariba is very difficult. With already जो rural area is the teachers and quality teachers रो बहुत scarcity.
And then even now we have so many Adarsh Vidyalayas and everyone, even in Kendriya Vidyalayas also, we have more contractuals also, a few of them are there. They don't have permanent. So recruitment honi everywhere. So it is not easy. So it has time ଲାଗିବ.
So then there's one more question which comes out of this is कि ଆଜି ଯଦି ଆମେ NEP policy timely ନ କରିପାରିବା, we are facing another challenge and that is AI. ଠିକ ଅଛି because AI will faster the approach or maybe it is easier for students to learn something or maybe 60-70% of the course can be learned or say briefed in a minute in a computer, right? And if we don't get NEP policy in time and then maybe how to inculcate AI in education, right? AI in education for the kids, for the teacher, for the running. If we don't do it, again we'll fall behind the curve.
AI actually, I feel that if you think it's a boon, it is also it's kind of thing. Because a lot of things like in our generation, we didn't know much about computers and all that. Our language teachers were struggling. Now they're all, with AI help, they're able to get their work done. It's easy for them. Correction also. But also the children are smarter than that. So what they're doing, the homework they are getting done by AI now.
So again, is it a challenge?
It's a challenge.
How will you face that challenge? कि तांको homework देले तो से AI रे कर दोउछन.
हाँ तो सेटा होची कथा ए तो कर दोउछंती किंतु एग्जाम तो हमर पेन एंड पेपर अछि सीरियसली फेल करछंती सो अगेन पेरेंट्स रे आपण तो जहा दोउछंती इट इज डन तापर वी केम टू नो दैट दिस चिल्ड्रन आर डूइंग एंड इवन चिल्ड्रन अछि आज तू सम नंबर 1 टा तू करे आज तू सम नंबर 2 टा मु करूची सो दे शेयर आल्सो नाउ आजकल शेयर करिया को भी इट्स सो इजी दैट्स
WhatsApp रे शेयर
हे गला तो सब जिनस भी हे जाउची सो homework also is shared business. So it is a big challenge for us. For that now we are ensuring that the homework also will be done in front of us. Because otherwise it's very difficult. So
see, what I think is you cannot escape that challenge, number one. But how do we use that methods to, to help children?
yeah, so that is what I'm telling you. It's a boon. Like if you take it like a lot of children, when you give them a project or something, they do a lot of R&D, they do a lot of things and come up so nicely with their project or experiments or some science projects when they come up or any geography or any subject. So they come up very well with that help. So I'm telling that if the children are guided properly and monitored at home properly, that see homework nahi karna hai ghar pe. You have to do it on your own. So that is what it is. Homework is, and so you shouldn't be doing that. But when you need something like this, the children should be given the scope that okay, they take the help of AI or take help of this and do it. So that is where you have to draw a line.
Yes. So see, I think basics are important. Basic बिना तो आपण भी AI use करी परिवेनी. The kids won't be able to use the AI. But does AI gets rid of the challenges like algebra, trigonometry, things which we struggled and learned, maybe organic chemistry, which we learned and struggled in 8, 9, 10, and we never used it in life?
Children who are smart and parents are conscious and we are doing so that for them also children are there who can be faster than table means like that. So tables is helping. So but it's an option again.
But do we still need to teach them algebra, trigonometry and say organic chemistry?
Yeah, children who don't want to do things like in nothing to do with chemistry or so on, they need not. But that way you have to choose the right career, no? Only then you can be
sure that you don't
need it. Nowadays parents that if you, now also we ask them that okay, if you want to be an engineer, don't take biology. Then the option ta thao na. After 2 years we'll decide ki kaun kariba. So that the parents and the children are still young to decide which subject to leave, but then with the parents and the teachers should decide the strength and weaknesses of the child and decide that okay, give up certain things. So that can happen. But usually what everybody thinks that okay, science you have to do. And especially in East and South, I think they feel that ki science engineer to banna hai hai,
Mandatory.
mandatory. So that's a graduation kind of thing, like it's a status.
So it's just same struggle there also. I mean, the amount of engineering subjects we are studying and everything, and then finally fourth year come, you sit for the campus and you realize कि हमें जहाँ पढ़ी थी is not working.
Not worth. Nothing. That is what it is. We keep counseling parents that ki don't do that. People who are struggling with physics, chemistry, and I tell them don't do that. Do BBA, MBA, because MBA I feel is more worth than other casual means who doesn't want to work and doing hardcore engineering or doing architecture or doing things. They need not actually study. But parents feel that ki, and status, societal pressure, peer pressure that ki, okay, science
Maybe things will change.
Yeah, now things will change. Changing already.
Coming to the last questions, this I feel sabu schools को face करें पड़े. This is the story of each and every school. I see it happen with Ruchika school also a lot. Is the increase of fees. So whenever you increase the fees, it's a news. It's a news. So how do you handle that? I know there are expenses, and I know when you give quality education, you need quality teachers and you need quality pay to sustain them.
No, for everything also. Like we started increasing when even the government announces the seventh pay hegala and tankar DA hike hegala. So you need to pay. And then even taxes also. See, earlier when I started, our electricity was subsidized, our holding tax was subsidized, but now it's all commercial. So obviously the fees will increase. Nowhere you will get, so holding tax has gone up, electricity bills have gone up. Everything is, earlier what education was, whoever did, it was not a business.
Yes.
So it was, now also like Mother's Public School, it's a society. It's not a trust or something like that in Unit 1. So for that it is that because we got a free land from the government. So and everything was subsidized. But now it is not that. We are giving holding tax as a commercial thing. Even electricity is, so obviously fee hike is there. I don't know why parents feel that increasing fees is this one, because they can spend on a burger, pizza or an ice cream every week, but it will be hardly.
Go out, watch a movie and when you go to a restaurant, it is 5,000.
So, but still, parents, I don't know, that is there. I think it's just, but of course in mothers.
You still face that challenge?
No, we don't. Up till now, people have trusted and thought that, okay, whenever it has happened, parents have been so cooperative that they have never raised anything.
Maybe one question if I ask is, what made Mother's Public School stand out within all the schools of the city? Because when you hear your kids do best in any exam, your results are one of the best. So what was that extra effort did you give?
That is not
Different from any other
school, but I think we are focused on education. I mean, it's the kind of thing we do. Lot of our teachers are all very involved, and they ensure that every child understood everything.
One thing I've noticed is Mothers has the best quality of teachers.
Teachers, I'm blessed that way, and they're very involved. And if the child doesn't know, means they're behind them. And so those remedial classes and all that, they're very attached. And now of course it's not a challenge anymore because we are selecting and taking. Are very conservatively doing it. We ensure there should be no mobile phones kind of thing. Don't use them. And parents have also, we tell them with the supervision only a child can use the mobile or something. Every age has its own charm. So children should grow with their age. It's not that in 3 years they should know 9 years ka.
Yeah. And that is happening with the technology age.
But still that we want that innocence to be there. So for that actually parents and teachers have helped them grow so that way, and children are doing well for that. The result is all hard work of parents and the children. And of course, little support of our teachers also. But everybody is focused that way. That is there.
Thanks a lot, ma'am, for being with us. Maybe as a closing line, I feel the whole gist of this discussion was the woman and entrepreneurship. So, if you have something to say to a girl or to a woman who wants to get into entrepreneurship.
I didn't start as an entrepreneur, but just I wanted to start a school. But now if you call it that way, I would tell every woman or man also that start small and do the hard work and be happy with what you have. Don't compare yourself with somebody else. And you do what you're best at and do the hard work and keep the balance of your family and everything. Then you get the support also from the family. Don't ignore them too, and take care of everybody, because personal life also is very important.
There has to be a balance.
If that is kept in place, then you can work and your struggle will not be a struggle. So that is what it is. So ensure that your family also has a good time and happy to see you also and spend good time with them. But hard work is always there. And because even today I feel that hard work, I have work hard only, because nothing is like, because challenges are different. Earlier challenges were different, now challenges are different. So for that, now with dummy schools and this, we have also issues of admissions and all that in our higher classes and all that.
That are great tips for anybody, want to take that jump. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. So before going, we have this thing. We gift our all our guests. I'm the hamper dono, but we gift mutton biryani from our place.
This I never expected.
We are very proud of.
My grandson would be very happy because he loves.
Even Rahul and Minnati, they love our mutton biryani.
Your food, everything. Even I have come here and had.
Yes, I know. So we. Yeah, this is something we give to everyone. The mutton biryani.
So dinner is ready.
Yeah, it's lunchtime.
Okay, yeah, lunchtime. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thanks everyone for watching this podcast. Do share this video if you like it. Today, maybe more than the story, it was, we learned about the challenges a woman faces when taking up entrepreneurship. And maybe this video should be an inspiration to each and every girl, each and every woman who wants to do something in life and, get her own business. Should definitely watch this video. Share it to each and every woman who has this dream to do something of her own. Thank you.